that they're selling a lot of stuff. I think that, you know, since they produce and make the show, they're allowed to sell stuff and make money off of it. I mean, that's their job.
With merchandising a major part of big-time entertainment in the 90s, Chris Carter has fought to keep commercial exploitation of the X-Files to a minimum.
From the very beginning, Fox would like to have merchandised the show in a different way, put a lot more out there and put it in a lot of different places, and I was very, how should I say, firm about not wanting to do that.
It's advertising, and it's, I don't think it would ever be in the position of actually influencing a story. Like, God, if I just had an Oldsmobile now, I could get out of this mess. You know, it's not like that. But Oldsmobile is a big sponsor.
Alongside the Oldsmobile, the X-Files moniker will be on plenty of product in upcoming weeks, including a pair of action figures.
I've broken my action figure, as a matter of fact.
Intentionally?
No.
Flung it across the room, or?
No, it just kind of, it was really nice and squishy, and I just squeezed it a little too hard and broke the leg off.
I'm not sure if the prototype is working. It did look a lot like Chris O'Donnell.
What David doesn't know is that we got a really good deal on the Chris O'Donnell action figures from Batman and Robin.
For some, the lure will be the cutting-edge soundtrack assembled by hipster David Was, and featuring a mess of top-notch artists hard at work.
I've heard the Filter song, which is a remake of Harry Nilsson's song, One is the Loneliest Number.
When they mentioned the song, I said at first, no way, because it was, the Three Dog Night version was just so light and so frilly and not me.
X is doing Crystal Ship. That'll be the Doors song.
Ray Manzarek producing, I think.
Oh, really? You know more than I.
Well, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? The X-Files using a song by X.
I actually auditioned for David Duchovny's part. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
The crystal ship is being filled, 1,000 girls.
And the Dust Brothers are remixing the X-Files theme.
I'm trying to encourage everybody to do more hustle.
While moving to LA promises to give the show a fresh feel for Duchovny and Anderson, 5 years of work on the X-Files has taken its toll. They know the end is in question.
I can't think of a show that gets more popular every year. You know, we just finished our 5th year. We should be in our decline. I wish we were, you know, I mean, because it's a long time to do the TV show.
The day that the show is no longer will be incredibly difficult and bittersweet.
I think it's a natural that we would go a couple more years and maybe sometime in the next 2 or 3 years try to do another movie. If this movie is successful, that's the X factor right now.
When we come back, we may finally get the X Factor on the upcoming X-Files movie.
There's something close to sex in this movie. There's closer to sex than we've ever gotten on the TV show.
I'm hot, I'm thirsty, and to be honest, I'm wondering what I'm doing up here.
So, what do you do?
I'm the key figure in an ongoing government charade. The plot to conceal the truth about the existence of extraterrestrials. It's a global conspiracy, actually, with key players, the highest levels of power, and that reaches down into the lives of every man, woman, and child on this planet.
While Chris Carter and his cast have stamped the X-Files plot highly classified, some facts have emerged.
I can tell you that it's a big movie that involves a conspiracy by a group of men who are trying to protect a secret, and Mulder and Scully come very close this time, extremely close. In fact, they learn the secret of what these men are protecting.
The virus has mutated.
Into what? A new extraterrestrial biological entity.
My God. Basically, the idea is that there has been alien contact, that these aliens are much more powerful than we are, and basically have at some point said, you know, give over or die.
We are going to tell them what we found, what we've learned, by turning over a body infected with a gestating organism.
In hope of what? Learning that it's true? That we are nothing but digestives for the creation of a new race of alien life forms?
And like the Vichy government, there are people in this world who have tried to make some kind of compromise with the aliens so that they're like, that the human race gets to survive while being dominated by this superior race of beings.
By cooperating now, we are but beggars to our own demise.
Cooperation is the only chance of saving ourselves.
Mulder! There's no time!
These powerful men may have orchestrated the bombing of a federal building in Dallas to conceal their nefarious scheme.
Let me see what's going on here, Daya. There's $45 million worth of damage to the city of Dallas. Lives have been lost. No suspects have been named. So the story that's being shaped is that this could have been prevented.
They want to blame us?
They sure do. So Mulder and Scully decide to track down the truth. First stop, a cornfield and some genetically enhanced bees.
We have bees that apparently have some kind of alien DNA.
No one knows what that is, so of course I'm not giving away anything.
And we happen to be discovered at that point when we're snooping around, so we have to, you know, run through the crops and get followed by the unmarked black helicopters. Those were actual corn stalks, and they hurt like hell when you run through them. You know, at first I was running like this, and that doesn't look very macho. You know, Mulder like,
It's hard to run through the corn like this.
So then they go, you know, you just got to run through them. So it's like, whoosh, whoosh, and your face is being flayed.
For Scully, it's been hard going all along, and she's thinking about ditching her out there partner.
They're trying to divide us on this, and we can't let them.
Mulder, they have divided us.
But before Scully can hit the road hits back.
Does Scully wind up getting abducted in some particular way?
Scully disappears for a little bit of the movie.
It's possible. It's highly possible.
Mulder's not exactly getting off scot-free either.
What lands you in the hospital in the first place?
I get shot.
By?
The bad guys.
And they are?
You know, even on the TV show, they have no names. They're like well-manicured man, cigarette-smoking man. They're gerundive. Thank you.
As the movie heats up, the truth is in a glacier.
There's a glacier that a lot of stuff happens out there on the ice. The movie begins on the ice and actually ends up ending there.
You know, the idea is if aliens have somehow landed here and are present at some point on this earth, it will be in a remote place. That's where I've decided that this is where the bad guys have their big works, and I've tracked it all down to there.
The movie's conclusion leaves behind plenty of unanswered questions, which figure to provide fodder for the next season of The X-Files as its characters keep grappling with the fate of the universe and their role in it.
The great thing about Mulder is that he's just fighting to expose what's going on, but in the end, he may actually be screwing up things that are good for humanity.
There's an interesting twist at the end, which will be played out next year in the television series, which suggests that it actually pulls the rug out from underneath the whole idea.
Even though we get behind Mulder and, you know, we want to know the truth too, he may be exposing people that should be working in secret for the greater good of everybody. So of course no one believes me. I'm an annoyance to my superiors, a joke to my peers. They call me Spooky. Spooky Mulder, whose sister was abducted by aliens when he was just a kid, and now chases after little green men with a badge and a gun, shouting to the heavens or anyone who will listen that the fix is in, that the sky is falling.
Well, I would say that about does it, Spooky.
Now in the streets of Washington at night, Fox Mulder walks in anguish and despair. He's certain that the things he sees are right, and his partner's just as sure they aren't there. He stalks the evil powers with the files tucked underneath his arm.
Can a beret-wearing intern topple the most powerful woman in the free world? Will a rubber-faced funny man outbash a chippy-faced songbird? And can the master of tools put the screws to the master of